Good afternoon, Rick. I'm here to present my social data mining techniques assignment on social media. My name is Minta Thomas, and I'll be discussing in this PPT about the objective, the APIs of Facebook and Twitter, the data model and its relationship, and the final result. The main objective of this project is to fetch the data from social media. The ones which I have chosen over here is Facebook and Twitter, and to display all those data in a website and then store the data onto a database. And the second result is to create a data model and to show its one-to-many relationship. In order to get the app ID and app secret key, or we use the Facebook developers login. There we have to register at first in order to get this ID as well as secret key. So I have registered onto it, and then I've received both of them. And as we see, making use of this app ID and secret key, we have created a graph which includes fields like ID, name, feed. These are the main elements which are included, and the sub-elements of feed includes limit, attachments, story, message, and the creator time. As we generate an access token for this and give permission to access all the data in our Facebook, we'll get the data as is being displayed in the middle of this page, this area. There we can correctly see all the fields like ID, name, its feed, the data which are being displayed includes its message, creator time, and the attachments, and so on it goes. And we store the data making use of SQL Management Studio. We have all the database details which are being stored onto this database. And coming to the data model, a data model is used in order to show how the elements are connected to each other. Here, consider that we have a user who is either a Facebook user or a Twitter user, who is having his own user ID, his own username, and he has access to the feeds. Feeds include whatever content that are being displayed on his wall of Facebook as well as Twitter are included in feeds. And in these feeds, as we know that this includes if a person posts something onto his profile, it shows the person who have posted it, when, at what time, what is the content of that, and so on. So all these things are included in feed, and the story is having a 24 hours time period, which is of a short span, and this is included for a day. If a person have something special in that day, he can post it on these stories. And coming to this relationship model, a relationship model usually shows a relationship between the data. That is how the entities in a relational database are connected to each other. Here we have three main entities: user, post, and feed. The difference between the post and the feed is that if I am the user, whatever content I am uploading onto the Facebook or Twitter is called as its post, and the feed means the content which are displayed on the wall, or content which he can see as a user of Facebook, which are being posted by others. So each of the user have access to his own post, as well as he can use, or he can see the post which others have posted. Like, it is called as feeds. So a user can access it only using his user ID and username, while the post can include some of the details like post ID, of course, and the time when it was created, and what was the content or the message included in that, and then who posted it, the user ID. Then Coming to feed, there again you have the user ID, the person who have posted it, his name, and we can also have the option to comment and like the feed they have posted. And Twitter API. Here also we have logged on to Twitter developers, and we request for API key and secret key. Since they're secret, they are being barred. So as we get this API key and the secret key, we can log in to this section where we have earlier we had only one here service to log in, and now we have one more, Twitter. So we can either log in using Facebook or Twitter in order to reach a common result. So the programming code which we have included here, I have developed it using C#. And moving on to the programming side, here we have an XML folder where the data relating to the fetching and the secret data are being stored. It starts with the data source where it shows the place where the data is being saved, that is the local DB, local database system, where we save the data. So its details are being given on this data source. Also, we have the Facebook app ID, then the Facebook app secret, Twitter app ID, Twitter app secret. So these four details along with its value, that is what we receive from API request, are included in web config in order to fetch the data from Facebook and then post it onto another web. Now, for the authentication purpose, we have a file called as startup.authentication, where we have two major sections, one for Twitter and the other for Facebook. So coming to this Facebook area, we have Twitter app secret. Yes, we have seen this on web configuration as well. So in web configuration, we use this Twitter app ID where the value is given, and this Twitter app secret. Here also the secret key which we receive on request is given. So this data, this value of the data is fetched from web config and it is taken to startup.authentication. Similarly, for Facebook app ID and Facebook app secret, we have the data being fetched from web config and its value, and then we'll get it on the startup.authentication. So as we know, authentication, the main purpose of authentication is to provide security for its users. So whatever content we are fetching on from our own Facebook page has to be authenticated or secured. So for that we make use of this. And next we have the Facebook controllers or controller.cs, and the main aim of this class is to fetch data, or it accepts the HTTP request and then processes it and finally sends its response. And for that, it makes use of the URL. Yeah, as we see here, the string URL equals, we have given the URL of the Facebook over here. So for that, we make use of graph.facebook.com, as we have seen that graph API. From there, we collect the data. So this much information is the one which we have given, we got it on creating the graph, and the access token which is being generated over there is given separate, access token equal to, so the access token is given in order to fetch the data from our Facebook. So after fetching the data, this content has to be displayed onto another page, or whatever content we are using to, we are fetching has to be displayed. So for that, we have another file, post.cs, where it defines all the classes which are included in this project. So some of the classes include its post, then attachments, and all those things. They are used to get the data and to display the data. That is in order to maintain fetching, processing, in order to get the data and then processing it and to display it. So we make use of it, and finally we end up with the result. As we can see, the Facebook posts which are being fetched from my account, and it is being displayed. Here the photos are being displayed. These were the recent photos which I have uploaded over there on my Facebook page, and that's all how we get this data. And on the next slide, I'll be attaching my YouTube link of this video, and that's all about it. Thank you, Rick. Have a great day. Bye bye.